Welcome to my Battlefield 4 beta review, viewers. This is Winch here. Right here I'm showing you the highlights that we'll be discussing in this video, or individual topics that is. The first clip there you saw was a highlight of a clip, and I'm going to show the clips leading up to that moment. Just another one of those Battlefield 4 moments, or just Battlefield in general. What a great game it's been. I'm really sad to see the beta conclusion for the moment. So the game's release here is on October 29th, so we're going to have about 2 weeks here where we are without a lull or without access to the game. But it'll give us a moment to reflect on what we've seen. I want to discuss the observations I've made, offer my critiques, but for the moment there really isn't all that much to talk about in terms of my real big concerns with the beta. I think all in all it's been a huge success. I've had a lot of fun playing it. I'm really looking forward to the game's release. I've had a lot of fun with this map in particular, Siege of Shanghai. I think the Obliteration game mode's been an absolute success, with the exception of the big change they made recently of capping the round time limit at 20 minutes. I, for the life of me, cannot wrap my mind around that at all. You know, if let's say you're in the final overtime inning of the World Series or the Super Bowl, what have you, and all the players look at their watch and say, well, sorry folks, we've hit a 30-minute time frame here, or we've hit the absolute top inning or time limit of the game, so we'll just have to flip a coin here and say who won the game. No, I mean, the game's not over till the mission's done here, and Obliteration game mode's a lot of fun. It just seems like those matches, that the longer they go on, the better they get. The back and forth, it almost is like a football in a sense, where you have an objective that moves back and forth across a map to try to get between these two bomb sites and targets. You know, one team acquires a bomb, runs with it. The other team eliminates that threat, reacquires a bomb, takes it back to their objective. You just see this beautiful back and forth gameplay. It's just so much fun. And I just get so frustrated here lately when I'm playing this game mode, and the game just ends right at the pinnacle of the action. So hopefully they're gonna get rid of this time limit, because everybody I've heard playing this game mode really gets frustrated when that time limit hits. Now in this gameplay, you're seeing me run through a 10-kill streak here with the new spin of the DMR weapons. This is a new spin that the developers have taken on from Battlefield 3, where all classes have access to this kit, the DMR marksman rifle or the carbines. Those two weapons are available across all classes. Here you can see me run with the canted iron sights here, quickly disposing of two enemies at relatively close range. And did you notice that little emblem on the side of the weapon? That's right, guys. That's the DICE-approved MK11. Come get it, run with it, and try to take my gun. I'll see you out there in the battlefield. That's my exclusive weapon. That's only for me. No, I have a lot of fun with the custom, if I can talk here, the customization of the weapons, the camos. I initially had some skepticism about the camo. I like this naval urban. It looks pretty cool. You can see it on vehicles, you can see it on guns. So I think I can put those to rest. But again, it's not been all sunshine and roses here with the beta. There has been some strong criticism coming from the current gen console community. That is where I come from. I have not played current gen console on Battlefield 4, and I'm not going to. And I've come out and explained that why. Having missed out late in my career with YouTube, I got into Battlefield 4 beta with YouTube. With Battlefield 3 on YouTube on PC, and I felt like I missed out on a lot, so I'm not going to do that with Battlefield 4. I am looking forward to playing on next-gen console. I think it's going to play great, 60 frames a second, 1080p, at least on the PlayStation 4. But however, I think beggars can't be choosers here with the current gen offering of Battlefield 4. There's no question that the hardware draw with this game, Frostbite 3 engine. I mean, look at the smoke effect right here on PC. I mean, that's just lots going on here. It's a big draw even on PC platforms. So the fact you can play it on current gen console, I think, is pretty impressive considering the hardware limitations of it. So don't expect to get the full experience there. There are going to be shortcomings with it. So just be thankful that at least you can play it. But really, next gen consoles where it's at. Now moving on into the gameplay and criticisms here, the critique of the beta. Right there, you can see me locking on with RPG. You saw that AA vehicle come by and strafe the hell out of me. Those are some criticism I want to get to, but the first topic I'll talk about is the gameplay, which I touched briefly on. First thing I would change is limiting the time frame with the the Obliteration game mode. The second thing I would change is increasing the diffuse time that you have available for the Obliteration game mode. Those are two big changes I would see right off the bat. In terms of the other game modes I saw with Conquest and Domination, I really can't speak too much about them because I haven't seen them on other maps. Didn't really see any big issues other than spawning on Domination, but we can all agree that that'll probably get addressed at some point in time. Moving on to the vehicles, though, as I touched about that earlier, what I would critique with the vehicle gameplay is reducing the A vehicle and its rocket count. I think it has like 4 rockets in that vehicle, so you can just spam rockets, you know, from the ground. And its damage is incredible against tanks and infantry. The time to kill is way too short of that vehicle. We need to nerf the hell out of it like we did in Battlefield 3. We also need to increase the minigun damage on vehicles like in the transport helicopter and on the PT boat. It's really frustrating when you're in that thing and you're just shooting out. I don't know what the fire rate is on those wet machines, but I mean, that machine gun's incredibly fast firing. It just doesn't seem to put infantry down quite enough, or quite as quickly. However, we did see an increase with the effectiveness on the machine gun mounted vehicles like on the Jeeps and the tanks. However, I would like to see that muzzle flash reduced on the tank, because for some reason when you got a gunner in there, it's really distracting if you're in the first person view on the tank. That guy's just full auto on that thing. You just see this big bright blazing flame coming out of the front of that muzzle flash on that machine gun. It's kind of distracting. Last topic I want to talk about with vehicles is PT boat spawning. Really didn't get much opportunity to play the vehicle, or the boat that is. It was kind of frustrating that it didn't spawn that well. Look at these moments too. I mean, the tension action around the bomb. Who's got the bomb? It's just so much fun. So, I mean, the PT boat, I really didn't get to see that much gameplay with it because it spawned randomly. It was hard to get into it. It had some glitches with it, so I think at some point they just eliminated it from the beta, but maybe that'll be addressed later on. But that's really all I had to talk about with vehicles. I like the new reload system, reducing the ability to spam rockets and stuff like that, so it gives you some moment of pause. So I think those are positive changes. All in all, I'm real pleased with that. Let's move on into the meat of it here, though. The meat of this video is class balancing, weapon balancing. Here you can see me running with the UK 100 M5K support class weapon. Everybody's in agreement, and myself definitely, that this weapon is just very weak, very weak. It just can't hold a candle to anything. I get outgunned by pistols all the time with this gun. It's only good at these ranges right here when people aren't shooting at you, mind you. Its fire rate's abysmal. The damage is even worse. I mean, it just doesn't drop anybody, and I get outshot all the time by anything. I mean, I'd rather have a pistol, or excuse me, a knife in my hand as opposed to a pistol, or this weapon at close range is just completely useless. So hopefully they'll address that. The Type 88's better from what I've seen, but for something I don't like the Type 88. Maybe it's the way it looks. I don't know. This is a geeky looking gun to me for some reason. This gun's meaty. It looks cool. It sounds cool. Again, I'm more about the experience of the game, so hopefully they'll make some changes here to this weapon. But other balancing issues I saw, we got to reduce the fall damage. I'm tired of falling 10 feet, losing all my health and dying. So we got to reduce the fall damage. In terms of assault, what I want to see is either you can revive. Once you get revived from an assault player, you should have 100% health. Or they should reduce the defibrillator charge time and deploy time. It's really cumbersome pulling those paddles out, reviving people. So, you know, give the guy a standing chance, because 20% health, this isn't long enough to do anything. But not too much to talk about the assault. I think their weapons are where they should be. I mean, they're really accurate and good at long range, so and all ranges. So, I mean, that's what assault's there for. In terms of recon, I want to see the motion ball. I want to see that thing have the ability to stick to vehicles. That'd be cool to be able to stick it to tank and have it track throughout until the tank's exploded or something like that, or air vehicles, whatever. I also like to see having access to weapons separate from battle packs. I think you should be able to unlock weapon attachments as you progress using the weapon. For example, with the MK5 I was using there, I can't unlock the grip on it because that's only available in a battle pack. I mean, that's ridiculous. RPGs locking on vehicles, I think we all agree that needs to go away. I don't like that aspect. I mean, it just basically negates the whole purpose of having the siglas. I mean, why have a sigla when you got an RPG that locks on things? So that's something I think needs to be addressed, even though there's a teamwork aspect in there. It just gives the RPG way too much flexibility. Also, one other thing on the support class I didn't mention was it doesn't have access to C4. I've heard some people say that that's going to be changed when the game's released, but we didn't have access to it now. I think you should have the ability to select C4 as a support class player. But all in all, I think the gunplay is really good. It's pretty balanced for the most part. I think the MK11, for example, on the battle rifles is a little bit weak. I mean, it takes 4 to 5 shots to kill a guy at range with that gun. Even with the heavy barrel, it's kind of frustrating. But all in all, I think the guns are balanced. The bolt-action sniper rifles kill like they should. The assault weapons are good. Engineer weapons, PDWs are not my thing, but you can obviously replace that with either a carbine, which we all agree the ACR is a great gun. The AK-5 is good too. But the last thing I want to talk about is just the interface. As a controller, as a player using a controller on a PC, there's no way for me to increase my sensitivity with vehicle turrets in the game. They have a joystick sensitivity, but that's not the same, so I need to have an option to do that. I know it's a controversial issue, but aim assist, I still preach, is something that we should have access to as a controller player playing on PC. I just have such a severe disadvantage playing with a controller against these guys with keyboards and mouses. One last thing on console that I would touch on is ability to remap your controls. I mean, we can do it on PC. What I do, a little trick I do here on PC, is I map my spot button in unison with my fire button. So when I'm firing a semi-automatic weapon or burst firing a weapon, I'm simultaneously spotting that target. So it's really helped to my team that basically whatever I'm targeting and shooting at, other people can see, and I've gotten to tons of spot points, and as a result of doing so, I just got a spot medal. In fact, when I was wrapping up my last game playing this, I got like 3,000 points from that. So again, as a console player, you should have the ability to remap your controls. I've heard a lot of people criticizing the fact that you don't have access to that. You can't remap your buttons. It's not the same as it was with Battlefield 3, and that's frustrating. I know that when you play with a controller, you expect a certain button you press to do a certain action. If it doesn't, that's frustrating. So hopefully we'll have that support in with next-gen console, or at least current-gen at some point with the game's release. Right here you can see me running around. Be careful about running out there and just picking up that bomb and run with it. I'll let somebody else take on that burden, and I like to prefer to kind of analyze the situation here before I make that bold attempt. And again, this weapon, I've got an angled grip on this gun, a heavy barrel, obviously ACOG sight, canted iron sights. A lot of fun running with this setup. So all in all, I know I ran through a lot of those topics really quickly, guys, but I mean, there really isn't all that much to talk about. I think I had about 15 items, 16 items to talk about. The main thing I really want to hit home is this getting rid of the timer thing on Obliteration. There's just no need for that. A few of the support class weapons need to be balanced better. You know, obviously some torch here with the vehicles, the AA stuff, but that's really the big stuff. All in all, I think this beta has been a huge success. I love this map. I love the graphics of the game. I love the sound of it. It's just been so much fun, so I can't wait to get in the game itself, move on here, and experience Battlefield for what it's intended to be, is a immersive, not really a war simulator, but a realistic type experience. It really creates a lot of those epic moments. Right there you can see me simultaneously spotting the guy as I shoot him, because you can see that menu pop up, which is kind of annoying, because if I have any direction on my aim fire there, it will take that. But I love the knifing. The counter knifing could be kind of a frustration sometimes. I get counter knife all the time, so I kind of make that mistake of still not quite in the mindset that that's an option to a defending player. So I would recommend that you mitigate your knife attacks, or at least keep them for just behind the back attacks. But all in all, Battlefield 4, leave your suggestions, your comments about what you guys think. Maybe I missed some things. I thought I hit most of them. Again, ran through them pretty quick there, but for most part, what matters the most is if you're having fun playing the game, and I think for most part everybody is. Again, there's some sour next-gen guys, or current-gen console guys, but you know, I feel for you guys out there. I came from those roots, but it's time to move on to better hardware and allow the hardware to progress the game. And now with better hardware, we have more. We got Levolution, for example, more immersiveness in the game. So get on board with that now. Look at this moment here. This guy's like, is somebody shooting at me across the map? So he just turns around and shoots this RPG across the map. We trade kills. I mean, are you kidding me? Just amazing moments like this. You know, I've had some issues with the Rebel here too, going through that. You get hung up on stuff all the time. It's kind of frustrating trying to move through all that. But here's these clips leading up to that last moment I want to talk about, where I started off the video with this. But one of these moments where you're right in the middle of the action, you think somebody's coming up behind you to shoot you, only to find out that you got shot by a guy across the map from the roof. So you're like, you know what? Nobody's safe in this game. So I have the ability to spawn on my teammate, which is a great spawning system right here. He just went up the elevator, spawn on him, come up here. We take care of the guy that just took me out, and then that's when I come up to the team here and lead into the clip here that I'll show here in real time. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe again. I will have more videos coming out. I'm probably going to get a montage in here before the game's release, and I'll probably get some basic tips and strategies here moving into the conclusion of the beta, moving into the game's release. Thanks for watching again. Appreciate your support. Looking forward to bringing you Battlefield 4 tips and strategies in Windshear style. Thanks for watching.